game between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Atlanta Braves from Turner Field in Atlanta. It's been a good series so far, and it's game number 3 tonight on Fox Sports Midwest. Al Hrabosky, Dan McLaughlin with you. Welcome to the broadcast booth here in Dixie. And Al, when you look at this series, it's been well pitched, well played, and we expect that to carry over here to game 3 tonight.
Well, we sure do. You know, Adam Wainwright, a native here of Georgia. He started in the Braves minor league system. He has dominated against them. You see his numbers this year, but lifetime he's 3-0 with an ERA just over 1 against the Bravos.
Javier Vasquez from the American League back to the National League, and he'll get the start tonight.
Well, the Cardinals haven't seen him for 3 years. He beat them at that time, but prior to that he had lost 5 straight games. But this guy really is a very, very good pitcher. He's able to make pitches and leaves very few pitches over the middle of the plate.
At shortstop for Tony La Russa tonight will be Brendan Ryan, and when we come back, Pat Paris will sit down with the Cardinals shortstop. Pat and Brendan coming up.
Welcome back to Turner Field. Cardinal baseball. The Redbirds taking on the Braves, the rubber game of this 3-game series tonight on Fox Sports Midwest. I'm joined by Brendan Ryan. 3 straight games in the starting lineup. Second time you've been at short. Last night you were at second base. I guess defense matters, and defense turned in by you has been stellar during this series.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, you know, what can I say? Our guys get ground balls, and it's really just me getting chances, and I've just been happy to execute on those ground balls.
You made some spectacular plays. Now, have you amazed yourself, or are those rather routine at times?
You know what? A lot of times you dive for a ball and you hope it goes in there, but you know, you hope you get the right footing in there and time it, everything, and like I said, I just got a couple chances and I've been able to make them, and you know, everyone else makes a big deal out of it, but I'm just trying to get outs.
Are you also surprised a little bit, 3 straight days in the starting lineup? I mean, this is a little different than what we've had to this point early in the season. Yeah,
you know, I'm not quite sure if what's going on with Khalil, but you know, maybe I'm just giving him a snuff and getting another day in the lineup. So yeah, I'm happy to be in there, and you know, as far as for me, you know, I'm not going to be hitting homers or anything like that, so I can, you know, help us win a game on defense, and that's the plan, I guess.
Get the bat going too.
Yeah, I got to get that bat going. It's been frustrating, but you know, as far as yesterday, I don't know what it looked like on TV, but man, they made some pitches, and it's been tough these last couple days. All the pitchers on both sides have been doing a great job. So
good luck tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, we need it.
All right, that's Brendan Ryan, and as we head to break, I'll remind you that coming up next, Dan and Al are going to look at the guys occupying the 3-hole on both of these teams. That's when we return. It's Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest.
Our thanks to Pat Paris and Brendan Ryan. It's a look at the 3-hole for each lineup, talking about Albert Pujols and Chipper Jones, 2 of the best sluggers, Al, in baseball.
Well, it's obvious that both clubs have said, don't let these guys beat you. The Cardinals have walked Chipper Jones 5 times already in the first 2 games, including 4 times yesterday, and Albert's been held in check.
Held in check on the road so far in 2009 overall. St. Louis and Atlanta coming up. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Bud Light. With just the right taste, it never fills you up. The difference is drinkability. By Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. By Auto Tire. For the lowest prices in town, choose Auto Tire. We shop the competitors so you don't have to. And by Chevy. See your Mid-America Chevy dealers or shop and compare at stlchevy.com. Another gorgeous night for baseball here in Atlanta, Georgia. And we're glad you're with us as Tony La Russa and the Cardinals try to take 2 of 3 against Bobby Cox and the Atlanta Braves. As we've seen, the Cardinals, one of the best hitting teams this far, average-wise, in the majors, but they were shut down last night. A look at Tony's lineup. Skip Schumacher, the second baseman, followed by Colby Rasmus and Albert Pujols. Chris Duncan will bat cleanup. Ludwig has the night off. Then Rick Ankiel, Yadier Molina riding a hitting streak. Joe Thurston is at third. Brendan Ryan, the shortstop tonight. And the pitcher and Georgia native Adam Wainwright batting ninth. And the Cardinals will face a tough customer when he's right, Al, and that's Javier Vasquez.
Well, that's right. He's returned back to the National League. He started with Montreal. Last 3 years he's been with the White Sox. He's off to a very good start. That this guy can throw any of his pitches over for strikes. Doesn't throw as hard as he once did, but he's a pitch maker.
Those numbers brought to you by Marshall Wireless, and the first pitch to Skip Schumacher is taken for a strike. Skip at second base again tonight. The Cardinals only one hit after the second inning and none for extra base hits last night. And Tony La Russa talked about it afterwards as that's popped fouling out of play near the Cardinal dugout. The fact was he would like to see, especially in that game last night, he would have loved to have seen the Cardinals be a little bit more aggressive early in the count.
Yeah, they've been a very aggressive team as they have led the league in batting average and runs scored and things like that, but they kind of got out of their element late in that game yesterday and got away from them.
Here's an 0-2 pitch. And Schumacher puts it on the ground towards second, handled by Omar Infante for the first out. A look at the Braves defense behind Vasquez tonight. Diaz, the hero from last night. Schaefer and Francoeur in the outfield. Jones, Escobar, Infante, and Kochman along the infield. The battery, Javier Vasquez and David Ross. Now, a lot of that had to do with JoJo Reyes. Bobby Cox said that that was the best he's ever seen him throw last night. And he still hasn't won in his past 15 starts. How about that?
But, you know, he pitched well enough to win as he went 7 innings and only allowed that one first inning run.
And here is Colby Rasmus, the 1-0 pitch. And he drives it out to right field, going back Francoeur, and he'll make the catch.
A nice catch by Francoeur, and you can see he's looking up into the sun. Right field is kind of troublesome at this time of night, but he made that catch with ease. No sunglasses, but looking up into the bright sun as it's coming over the stadium. And Kobe really put a shellacking on that one.
A little charge into that one, and here's Pujols. He's been shut down in the series, as we talked about just moments ago. He's 1 for 8 against the Braves. And what's surprising is what he has done on the road this year. Albert Pujols is hitting under 200, 6 for 31 on the road and 1 home run.
He's got to be hitting 400 or better at home to have the numbers that he has. Leading the National League in home runs and RBIs.
And it's only a matter of time, too.
Sure, and really not that many games played on the road, but it is odd to see an average under 200 for him, even if it's one game.
Vasquez in his career, and this one is driven out to deep right field. Francoeur is back, and he'll make the catch. Makes it near the track, and Vasquez has a 1-2-3 first. Two of the game's best managers in baseball currently, and in the history of this game, Bobby Cox and Tony La Russa. A look at Bobby's lineup: Omar Infante, Escobar, and Chipper Jones. Then Casey Kochman, 3 for 8, couple of doubles this series. Francoeur, Diaz, Schaefer, Ross, and Vasquez. And they will face Adam Wainwright, who is from Brunswick, Georgia, the 6'7", 230-pound right-hander of the Cardinals. Omar Infante up the middle, backhanded by Schumacher, but not in time. Showing some good range to get to that ball, but Infante with good speed.
Schumacher did a nice job to catch that, and Adam Wainwright making his 5th start, and you can make the strong case that every start he's improved and gotten better. It's 2-0, good ERA, and he's been outstanding against the Braves, a team that first signed him. 3-0 in his previous 3 starts against the Braves with an ERA of just 1.13.
Those numbers brought to you by Marshall Wireless. The Atlanta Braves are 10-10 this year. The Cardinals at 14-7. The Cardinals lead Pittsburgh at the start of play today by 2.5 games. And that's a ball taken inside by Yunel Escobar. One thing with Javier Vasquez in his starts for the Atlanta Braves, the offense has come alive. They've averaged 9 runs per 9 innings in his first 4 starts. That's second best in the National League as far as run support is concerned. Runner goes, little chopper to Brendan Ryan, gets it on a short hop over to Pujols. Chipper Jones will step in with first base open. The Cardinals haven't dealt with him at all in this series. Duncan, Ankiel, and Rasmus in the outfield. Thurston and Brendan Ryan on the left side of the infield. Schumacher, Pujols on the right side. Wainwright, Molina, the battery. And again, the defense is always brought to you by our friends at Auto Tire. So here is Chipper Jones. Walked 4 times last night. We'll see how Wainwright wants to deal with Jones here. Casey Kochman is on deck. The switch hitter, Chipper Jones, one of the best ever in baseball.
Come on, Chip.
He learned a switch hit by watching the game of the week. Said it was the only game in town. You watch that Saturday afternoon game, and then that would dictate how he would practice with his dad later that day. The lineup that he saw. What a great player he has turned out to be.
It's called Game of the World.
Here's a 1-0 pitch, and that's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. How do you think they'll approach Chipper Jones early on in a game like this with your pseudo ace on the mound?
Well, I think Wainwright's going to go after him a little more than what we saw in the first 2 games of the series. But according to situations, if there's ever a chance where he can really hurt you, they will be very careful.
Chipper Jones last year won a batting championship. He had .364. Belted 22 homers, drove in 75, and was limited in duty because of injury. 128 games.
So important when Chipper's healthy. Already this year he's missed 5 games with the bad left thumb.
Jones slicing one to the opposite way. Chris Duncan is there to make the catch.
And the Braves are 0-5 in those games that he has not played in.
So 2 away. The dangerous bat of Jones retired, and it brings in Casey Kochman. I think a logical question for the game last night late was, why didn't Tony La Russa use the lefty on Kochman in that situation?
Well, I talked to Tony about that, and he said that Prado, who's on their bench and hits the Cardinals extremely well, he felt they would pinch hit the right-handed batter against Reyes, and so he preferred to have, you know, McClellan face Kochman, and eventually struck him out, than to face, you know, bring in a lefty and face Prado.
And at some point with certain closers, you ask them to extend beyond just the 1 inning and getting the 3 final outs in the 9th.
And that was the other aspect of it, because then you would take him out, bring in Franklin for the final out of the 8th inning before pitching the 9th. And he said they're really trying to keep him strong, so they just want to keep him to 1 inning.
And it makes sense. I mean, in watching him over the last couple of years, if he is overextended with innings and usage, he's just not quite as effective.
Right, and he's been, you know, pitching a lot, so it's not like, you know, we have an abundance of off days where you could say, okay, well, we can extend you now. That's not the case. And eventually you're going to have to find out. If you pitch Franklin in the 8th inning, you're wondering who's the 9th. If you're pitching, saving for the 9th inning, you're going to have to figure out what's going on in the 8th inning. And I think more times than not, we're going to see McClellan get the job done. And
Franklin so far has just been awesome in that closer's role. He's been great. 6 of 6 in save opportunities. And a lot of that due, though, to the fact that it's a day and then off day, and then he's on again and not being overexposed. Stuff has been very good. That tails in there for a strike. Casey Kochman only hit 149 after the trade that brought Teixeira to California with the Angels. Kochman came over here and really struggled. Only hit 2 home runs and 152 at bats, and he's got no home runs in the cleanup spot so far this year for the Braves.
They have a career high 14 combined last year.
But it gives you an idea with Bobby Cox's lineup this year. Jeff Francoeur, who'll dig in, talked about it at the beginning of the series. This is not a lineup that's going to hit for a lot of power, but they feel they'll have better consistency, especially down in their order, than most teams in the National League.
Yeah, and Francoeur is making the point that 6, 7, and 8 is going to do a lot of damage, be very consistent, and not a breathing spot in the batting order for any pitcher.
So here is Francoeur with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. He is one of the best in baseball over the years, but he is a free swinger. His left hand came off the bat.
He's much more patient this year, and almost unheard of that he accepted that walk there in the 8th inning to load the bases last night. Rarely would he ever walk in the past.
Over to get it, Colby Rasmus, and he'll make the catch near the line. Became an adventure there down that first base line, and Wainwright is through with the first inning jam. Had to hurry up, the right fielder tonight. Let's take a look at tonight's keys to the game presented by Toyota.
Well, Vasquez is a pitch maker. He can throw any of his off-speed pitches over for a strike. A big strikeout pitcher, so be aggressive like Tony wants. Wainwright, just been awesome. Continue that dominance against Atlanta. And this is the rubber game. So you've got to win this game to win the series and set the tone for going into Washington.
The cleanup hitter for Tony La Russa tonight is Chris Duncan, his left fielder. The Braves have recorded 168 strikeouts as a staff this season, which is second in the majors, and a lot of that is due to the guy on the mound. That's Javier Vasquez. He has over 2,000 in his career.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. He's among the league leaders this year in strikeouts. Already this year he's had a 12 strikeout game, and over the last few years, or 9 years, I mean, he's just one of the top three in strikeouts and innings pitched.
Little chopper slowly hit to the right side. Infante underhands, and Duncan is out. First 4 have been retired.
You know, one of the interesting things, Tony has every left-handed bat in the lineup today, and Vasquez as well as Wainwright, both of them are more effective in the early going of this year. They're more effective and have a lower batting average against by left-handers than right-handers.
Here's Ricky Ankiel. 2 for 5 with a couple of RBIs in this series. Made a fine play out in left center late in the ball game last night. There's the breaking ball and a strike. Javier Vasquez is 6'2", 210 pounds, from Puerto Rico. Acquired in December from the Chicago White Sox. Had 6 years in Montreal, 1 year with the Yankees, 1 year with Arizona, 3 with the White Sox. And he's had 9 straight years with double-digit win totals. And he piles up the innings, too. Let's see if they go with the changeup. It is, but it's up and away. And Ankiel, now they've seen a ton of those lately.
Well, he's going to see him continue because he comes up empty on him.
1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody on. There's another changeup at 77 miles an hour. First strikeout for Vasquez. Firestone leaderboard time as Yadier Molina gets set to hit with 2 outs and nobody on for the Cardinals here in the top of the second. Yadier Molina, this is the batting average against right-handed pitching. Carlos Beltran at 400. And this series for Molina, 3 for 7, and against righties he's hitting .386. He also has a hitting streak on the line.
12-game hitting streak. His career high is 15, so he could pass that on this road trip.
15 was back in 2007. He's hitting .390 during this streak. He's had 4 doubles, opposite field home run. He's scored 7 runs, and he's driven in 7 during this streak. With a Cardinal catcher that hit .304 last year. And Tony La Russa has moved him up in this lineup. He's become a threat. That's backhanded nicely by the former shortstop Chipper Jones over there at third. 6 up, 6 down. No score. Well, the Cardinals starters this season have been very good. Look at that. 12-2, 3.14 ERA, over 120 innings pitched, 80 strikeouts, 21 starts. And since Chris Carpenter has left with injury, the rotation has an ERA of 2.28.
It's hard to believe without Chris Carpenter they've had that success, and really the only guy struggling is Wellemeyer. The most wins and best ERA in the National League from the starters.
Well, Kyle Loge, as this is Matt Diaz, the hero from last night. Loge last night was dealing with stomach issues, also has the sore knee. He had 6 shutout innings, but he was throwing up before the game. At one point during the game, a little bit of a flu bug has hit this team, but he's been outstanding for the Cardinals.
Yeah, the flu bug, I know Hal McRae's had it. Albert almost missed a game at home. They tried to
It was Friday against
Yeah,
Chicago.
Friday against Chicago. They tried to take him out. He said, no way. Ludwig's got a little bit of the after effects of it. But you play every day. You got to play.
The Pirates are the only other rotation in double digits as far as wins are concerned from their starting rotation. The Pittsburgh
10.
Pirates.
Yeah.
Diaz with that one big hit, and that was last night. But the game on the line. And a ball that looked like Khalil Green could probably get to his left.
Well, and Khalil Green is going to be out of the lineup for a few days. He's experiencing a problem with his forearm. And it kind of
and it's his right arm, his
right
throwing
arm,
arm.
throwing arm kind of persisted and got worse during the game.
The check swing did not go on a ball that got away from Wainwright. So Adam is now walked 2.
It's one of the things that Adam can't be happy with. 15 walks in 24 in the third innings. And something you never really worry about, a high walk total, but this year in the early goings it's kind of crept up there.
Go back to Green though for a moment, Al, because Brendan Ryan now playing again. He started this series at short, played second last night, at short again tonight. Defensively, he's been spectacular. They'd love to see his bat get going a little bit. Runner goes and a hit and run. It's back to Wainwright. No field, steps and throws.
That's twice they've started the runner, knowing that Adam gets a lot of ground ball and try to stay out of the double play.
That gives you an idea about Schaefer's speed. He can fly.
Yeah. Adam, very good athlete, no wasted time, and it's a bang-bang play at first.
But Green was also playing towards the hole last night, which also aided that 85 hopper getting up the middle.
Right. So had him playing in the hole a little bit and just couldn't get it or knock it down.
And now you have David Ross, who's had a nice series. He's replacing a 3-time All-Star in Brian McCann, who is out with that vision problem. But he did hit last night at Myrtle Beach. He has a new pair of contacts, and he's had dryness in his left eye, talking about Brian McCann. But so far so good with Ross. 9 for 25 this year, couple of home runs, 3 doubles, 6 RBIs. Good production. Let's go back to the hit from last night.
On the bases loaded, it's a 3-2 count. You see where Green is in the hole. And I don't know if the runners blinded him a little bit, but he just never caught up to that slow hopper through the middle. And because it was a 3-2 pitch, runners running, both the tying and winning run scored.
And here's a 1-1 to Ross. That ball gets away from Wainwright again. Braves are 4-4 with David Ross behind the plate, and the pitcher's ERA is just over 3. That's something you always look at with a backup catcher.
Yeah, he's done a very good job, and Ross has been an everyday catcher in the past, particularly with Cincinnati.
It almost looked too, in watching that replay, that Green initially was flat-footed too. He didn't get a real good read, it looked like, on that ground ball. Runner at second. There's no score here in the second inning. Ross is 2 for 9 against Adam Wainwright in his career.
Gary Lane, the home plate umpire, and it's a tight, small zone. Several pitches that look like they could be called strikes. Ed Montague, the crew chief, is not with us tonight, as he couldn't make it a go, and they replaced him with Chris Tiller, who's over at third base.
But you say this about Khalil Green, though, Al. His reputation is he's an outstanding defensive player, and I guess we'll see obviously more of that this year.
Yeah, but I mean, the one thing too is he's here not only for defense, but he's here because of his bat.
Right.
And that's been a little slow coming around, so it's a great opportunity for Brendan Ryan, who, as we mentioned, he just had 2 spectacular games defensively.
Well, you'd love to see Wainwright go deep into this game, and that's not like Adam Wainwright. 15 balls, 12 strikes in his 27 pitches. So he has walked 3 already. And here is Javier Vasquez. Vasquez is bunting. Wainwright goes to third, out there over to first. Not in time with Schumacher covering over at first. So they get the lead man.
Running it a little too hard, right back at Wainwright. And got the defense on here. They're going to try and keep him close. You see where Thurston is. That's why you got to bunt it down the third base line to make the third baseman come in. But when he bunted it right back to the pitcher, Thurston could back up and they could get the lead runner at third base, and then he tried to complete the double play at first.
Omar Infante is a leadoff man for Bobby Cox, and he's seeing more time as of late because of the struggles of Kelly Johnson. Johnson only 4 hits in his last 39 at bats, and his on base percentage in his last 11 games is around 200. So they're trying to get a little bit more production here at the top of their lineup. Runners at first and second with 2 outs.
Kelly Johnson started out batting 300. That's right. 10 for 30 to start the season, and then he just nosedive.
She talked about Adam Wainwright against Atlanta has appeared in 6 games prior to tonight and pitched very well. 1.13 ERA and a 3-0 record. 1-0 here at Turner Field in a couple of games, one of those being a start. And that's a little bit high. 2 balls and no strikes. 24 innings, only 3 earned runs allowed by Wainwright against the Braves. We're in the second. Good opportunity here for the Braves with 2 outs and 2 runners on. On deck, Yunel Escobar. 2-0 pitch to Infante.
Strike zone kind of all over the place, and Adam really having trouble getting the ball down. And breaking pitches are hanging up.
Outfield is straight away for Omar Infante. The 2-1 pitch. 3-1. I see Wainwright frustrated right now as he falls behind again.
Well, I think part of the problem is when he does get the ball down, he can't get a call. But very unusual for him to have lack of command.
Not great speed out there at second, and there's the drive into right. Let's see if Rasmus can fire to the plate. Couple of hops, 1-0 Braves.
Another pitch up and hit hard the opposite way. So Infante 2 for 2 and he's got the first RBI.
His 4th of the year.
Watch where the ball is up there. And Molina's, not only was it up, but it was up out over the plate. Rasmus comes in here, not a very strong throw, and offline.
So runners at first and second, 1-0 Atlanta. For the most part, they've been playing catch up all series long, with the exception of late innings last night. Escobar grounded out back in the first. He grounded to short.
Keep it going. That's key. Come on.
Big gap into left center field for the Braves shortstop. Hitting .294 at the start of play. A fly ball into right. And Colby puts it away. Thurston, Ryan, and Wainwright coming up. Braves strand 2, but they take a 1-0 lead. Traveling and can't catch the Cardinals TV broadcast? Catch all the action on your computer at MLB.tv and catch over 100 live out-of-market games per week. For complete details, visit STLCardinals.com, where baseball is always on. Omar Infante with a single, coming with 2 outs, and 2 out base hits have been the story in this series. 1-0 Atlanta. Cardinals have Thurston, Ryan, and Adam Wainwright. This week on Fox Saturday Baseball, David Wright and the Mets head to Philly to take on Ryan Howard and the Phillies. A showdown between bitter rivals in the National League East Division. Mets and Phillies on Fox Saturday Baseball. Florida beat the Mets today 4-3. Cody Ross with a 2-run single off of J.J. Putz as Florida took 2 of 3. Milwaukee beat Pittsburgh 1-0. Giovanni Gallardo with 11 strikeouts for the Brewers and also a 7th inning home run to win that game.
Kid is good.
Yes, he is. There's Thurston and a strike on the outside corner. Arizona beat the Cubs 10-0. That was against Ryan Dempster. That's only the 2nd series win for Arizona this year. And Colorado beat San Diego 7-5. And those are the finals from the National League from this afternoon.
Well, the Cardinals can gain ground with the victory here.
Joe Thurston at third base tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. And speaking of third baseman, A-Rod apparently is on his way back to New York in the next week. Breaking ball and a strike.
So I went from taking batting practice against minor leaguers to
7 to 10 days.
Back to New York real quick, huh?
Here's a 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 6 starts this decade for Javier Vazquez. And it's a little bit misleading. He does not have a winning record, but how about this? No run support in 2 of the starts. 1 run in the 2 others, and 2 runs in the other 2. That's it. And he also took losses in 2 complete games that he threw.
Yeah.
You can see he's got pretty nasty stuff.
He really does. He doesn't throw as hard as what he once did, but his breaking pitches and off-speed pitches have become so much more effective. And the ability to throw any of them over the strikes. Very few pitches he throws in the middle of the plate. Everything's on the corners.
Last year he was 12-16. As Brendan Ryan smokes one into left center field. He needed a base hit. And that will be cut off at the track, and a nice play out there and left by Diaz. If that rolls by him, he's at third base.
Well, Brendan Ryan really has some nice speed. So, and I think just by playing these games, getting a little bit of consecutive time, that his offense will come around too. But smokes this ball out there, and you can see the way he's running. But he's been very impressive. A lot of scouts probably have he has opened their eyes in this series.
Yeah, the 3 fine plays at shortstop in game 1, a couple last night, and that was at second base. And here is Wainwright hitting 133.
Yeah, but there's no guarantee he's sacrificing. They sure aren't playing like he's sacrificing.
Trying to keep Brendan close at second. Big gap in left center. And that swung on and missed. Wainwright, a terrific athlete from this area. Graduate of Glenn Academy in Brunswick, Georgia. He was the Gatorade Baseball Player of the Year. And he was also All-State in football as a kicker and wide receiver. Time is called. So 1-out double by Brendan Ryan. He stands at second, and a chance to tie it up here for Adam Wainwright in the Cardinals half of the 3rd. Mentioned that Vazquez was 12-16 a year ago, but with that he picked up at least 10 wins, another 30 starts, and 150 strikeouts for the 9th consecutive year.
It's kind of hard that he and Ozzie Guillen, his manager at White Sox, just didn't see eye to eye, and he didn't think he was a big game pitcher. That's a pitch right there where if you recognize breaking ball and it starts out about, belt high, you better lay off it because the bottom will fall out.
And Vazquez this year already with 4 quality starts in his last 3 games. 6 innings each, 29 strikeouts, and only 3 walks. 1-2 pitch. And he picks up his 3rd strikeout of the night. Well, did you know that the Cardinals feature kids pricing for all 81 home games? Kids 15 and under can purchase tickets for as low as $7, cheaper than a trip to the movies. For details on kids pricing, visit stlcardinals.com.
Schmucker's got a 9-game hitting streak working.
It's 2 strikeouts in the inning. We're back to the top of the lineup and Skip. Sean Dunston was talking about at the end of his career being a utility player for Tony La Russa. Said the hardest thing that he could have done, though, is play second base. And that's what Skip's trying to do here at the big league level.
Yeah, he said he never wanted to do that. He just was terrified of runners coming, down on him when he had his back to the first base trying to receive a throw.
Grounded out to second his first time up. There's the breaking ball outside. Vasquez pitched for Jose Oquendo just a few months ago in the World Baseball Classic. Bobby Cox said he had him with the 2000 Major League Baseball All-Stars that went to Japan. And he said one thing that we know about him, he's a good athlete. He'll handle the bat. Very good at holding runners on. He said essentially I've wanted to have him for about 10 years pitching for the Braves.
Right. They liked him when they saw him with Montreal.
The 1-1 pitch to Skip. A broken bat, little floater into center. That's a base hit. Brendan Ryan will score. And here we go again. Another 2-out RBI base hit. We're tied up at 1-1.
One way to get a 10-game winning streak, and Brendan Ryan, knows he's got 2 outs. As soon as contact was made, he could just put his head down and start running home. And it just floats out there far enough over the infield that Escobar could not get to it.
In steps Colby Rasmus, who's in right field tonight. He was saying the other day how he's still learning to play the corner outfield positions. His natural position is center.
I think it showed on that
I agree.
pop-up to right field earlier.
2 outs, runner at first. Rasmus with off-speed pitch. Swung on and missed.
Left-handed batters batting only .208 against Vasquez, and righties .275.
Works on that first base side of the rubber. And Colby hits it a ton into center field. Schaefer is back to the track near the wall, and he's got it. Almost picked up his first major league home run. Chipper Jones due up when we come back. Baseball tonight on Fox Sports Midwest, brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. By Aflac, we've got you under our wing. And by the Casino Queen, home of the loosest slots. Switch hitter Chipper Jones takes a ball. You see Wainwright struggling.
And the curveball.
Yep.
Pulling down on it, casting it, throwing it out there. And
1 ball, 1 strike. Jones flied to left his first time up. Chipper Jones is now signed through 2012. Kind of a quiet signing. Didn't make many headlines. He received the extension, and Frank Wren, the general manager with the Braves, said we want to make sure that Chipper retires an Atlanta Brave.
And I think it's can be extended to 2013. And nice catch by Cardinal fan.
You don't see players modern day baseball stick with one team. Not very often. And that's a big question, I'm sure, for a lot of Cardinal fans. What happens with the big first baseman? There's Schumacher. That was a curveball, one of the better ones from Wainwright here this evening.
Well, you just got to keep on battling your way through it. And, maybe you just get out there, you wear yourself down a little bit to where you find your release point.
Despite missing nearly 3 months last year with that finger injury, Adam was still 11-3. That slicing could be trouble, and it is. Down into the corner it goes. Duncan will get it. And Kochman on base for the second time. So 1-out double for Casey Kochman, and in steps Jeff Francoeur.
Kochman set up away. Another pitch that's up out over the plate. Take a little bit off that pitch, and it just leaves it up there. And so trying to get the ball down in the zone has been the biggest problem so far.
Jeff Francoeur was a terrific athlete coming out of this area. Two-sport star in football and baseball. He won 4 state titles, 2 apiece. And he was ready to go play for Mr. Bowden at Clemson at the time when the Braves gave him $2.2 million to sign. And he said, the Clemson coaching staff said, you'd be crazy not to take that. Take the money, go play for the Braves. And he let everybody know at the time of the draft that if you drafted him and you weren't the Atlanta Braves, he was not going to sign. But it was your choice.
Two of the better off-speed pitches. Curveball, and then there a slider, cutter.
He has opened up his stance slightly. We talked about this the other night, to where he's trying to get both eyes to face the pitcher, something that Andres Galarraga did with Don Baylor a few years ago. Open it up a little bit. He worked with the hitting coach down in Texas this offseason, along with Terry Pendleton. See, slightly open. Goes with the pitch. An 0-2 mistake. Rasmus missed the ball, slips, and a run will score. Kochman makes it 2-1, and Francoeur delivers. That could be just a base hit and an error.
Kobe came in and it stopped the runner, froze the runner at third base, but he didn't have the ball. And then he had to go retreat. 0-2 breaking ball up, out over the plate, hit to the right side. Here it comes in to throw it, and didn't have it. And we'll see how they score. They scored an error. So Kobe's second error, so base hit and error.
And here is Diaz. So instead of being first and third with one out, the potential of a double play and getting out of a jam, it's now a 2-1 game, and you have Francoeur with good speed and scoring position. Diaz is 2 for 3 in his career against Adam Wainwright, and he walked his first time up. Wainwright still looking for his first strikeout, and he has walked 3. That's strike 2, no balls and 2 strikes. But this is where these aces need to step up and shut the door right here.
Francoeur got an 0-2 breaking ball that he hit out to right. Let's see what Diaz gets.
Schaefer is on deck. Gets the breaking ball that's slowly hit. Thurston with it. Out there, and Pujols can't get out of the glove as Ryan was covering third. Aggressive play there by Jeff Francoeur. Well, don't miss Bud Light T-shirt night on Friday, May 15th at 7:15 against Milwaukee. The first 25,000 fans ages 21 and over receive a Bud Light Cardinals T-shirt. And for tickets, you can head to stlcardinals.com.
Heads-up play by Francoeur, but as you said, it did not fool Albert Pujols. He waited until Thurston threw it. Albert read it all the way, started to make the throw, and Albert, with his good throwing arm, I think he throws him out, but he couldn't find the handle.
Good changeup that time. The changeup was something that Wainwright was able to develop. You know, bad situation being out, but he worked on his changeup when he came back.
Yeah, when he had the finger issue last year, he discovered his changeup and really was excited about that, and it's become a good pitch for him.
A high strike to Schaefer. He doesn't like it. Now in the hole, 0-2.
He's had no trouble this inning getting ahead. Trouble's been putting them away.
22-year-old rookie Jordan Schaefer. They love his defense. Terrific speed. They say he's a rocket for an arm, just a rocket arm. He hit .324 this spring. And that ball scoots away. The aggressive play by Francoeur allows him to come in and score.
Wow, everything's out of sync, isn't it?
Yep.
On the base paths, you always be aggressive. Molina's so good, the Gold Glove winner, blocking balls in the dirt. Doesn't block this one, gets away ever so slightly, and then he can't find the handle and get the throw to to Wainwright. Very aggressive is Francoeur, and that's heads up with the rookie at the plate.
Good read by Francoeur. And so he scores Atlanta's third run. It's 3-1. And Schaefer a check swing and a breaking ball. Jordan Schaefer had 22 hits this spring. He had 5 steals. There's some talk he'll be in that conversation for Rookie of the Year. The last to do it here in Atlanta was Rafael Furcal. Back in 07, he had the most hits in all of minor league baseball. Third round pick back in 2005. He's from Hammond, Indiana.
Grew up in Florida, as his family moved him to Florida so he could play baseball year-round.
Served a 50-game suspension for banned substance last year and spent that season at Double-A Mississippi. Hit .269 with 51 RBIs.
Did not ever have a positive drug test, but accepted the suspension.
What's happened because of the Mitchell report, there's essentially a hotline you can call to talk about individual players.
Oh, rat line.
He called that too. And that's what happened with Schaefer. He was called in by Major League Baseball, and then the rest is history.
An anonymous caller came in and questioned whether he was using HGH. And of course, there's no test for that, but he agreed to the suspension, and he said he learned a very valuable lesson for that.
Said he was humbled by it, obviously, embarrassed by it, flamboyant in his time in the minor leagues, but that changed him. I don't know if it's just the fact that he's not getting the ball down or if he's getting squeezed or a combination of the two, but he does not seem in sync tonight.
Well, like I said, when he does get the ball down, he's not getting any calls. And leave the ball up, they became much more hittable.
So 2 outs, runner at first, and Ross pops one foul. David Ross, the 8th place hitter for the Braves. Wainwright has already walked 4, and that's just not like him.
No. Plenty of game left. You know, it's 2-run differential. Just keep on plugging away and get your team back on offense.
On opening day, he walked 5 against Pittsburgh. Following start, there was 3. End of the game at Chicago. Good pick by Pujols. He walked 4. And then last time out was probably his best start. 7 innings. He allowed 7 hits, but only walked 1 and struck out 6 against the Cubs at home.
Well, it's going to be one more of these battles to go deep into a ball game because of the high pitch count. That's something you never worried about, Waino.
The 0-1 pitch. Again, the runner goes. A high breaking ball throw to second. And safe is Schaefer.
Now you see how good a throwing arm Molina has when you get a high breaking ball and a guy with terrific speed, and yet he still makes it fairly close. Just gets a good jump off of Wainwright and trying to be a snap tag by Schumacher, but that good speed and the better jump.
That's his first career steal after 5 this spring. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Ross. David Ross right now hitting .360, 2 home runs, and he's driven in 6.
You can tell already they're going to try and run off of Wainwright, and now a base hit comes another run.
Let's see Molina point to his front shoulder, maybe flying open a little bit.
I think he's just trying to calm him down. You know, you rarely do you see him not under control, but circumstance has got Wainwright kind of talking to himself, trying to figure out what's going on.
A 3-1 pitch. Pretty well hit. Right center. Ankiel makes the catch on the track. 3-1 Atlanta. Pujols, Duncan, and Keel coming up. Well, the Cardinals begin a 4-game series with the Nationals tomorrow night on Fox Sports Midwest. Coverage starts at 5:30 with Cardinals Live. Cardinals and Nationals tomorrow on Fox Sports Midwest. Mitchell Boggs and Daniel Cabrera. And we'll have 3 of the 4 games against the Nationals on Fox Sports Midwest. And here's Albert Pujols. Pujols is fly to right. 0 for 1. 5 for 13 coming into play against this right-hander Vasquez in his career.
1 for 9 on this road trip.
Oh, 2. Big cut. You mentioned that left-handed hitters have struggled against Vasquez more so than the righties.
Yep. 208 average versus 275. They're going to slow down everything and telegraph that off-speed pitch.
What do you see? Why would that be the case?
You know, I just don't know. We haven't seen for 3 years to know if that's a pattern. You would have to think that's not, you know, what it is year after year for Tony to put every left-handed batter in the lineup.
1-2 pitch. Pujols holds up. Bullpen last night for the Cardinals. That was their 5th blown save and their 4th loss. I know Kyle McClellan thought he had a strikeout of Matt Diaz to get out of the inning before the base hit.
And if you talk to Kyle, he'll reprimand himself for the leadoff walk.
And that's the key.
And then he walked to Francoeur, who it's almost impossible to do that, to load the bases. And then he fell behind on the 3-2 count to where, you know, with 2 outs, the base is loaded, and a 3-2 count, the runners are moving. So, you know, he thought he had his strikeout to get out of it, but there's not a lot of things to be real happy about with that outing.
Another different looking lineup again. You see the pitch count at 58 already for Wainwright, 35 for Vasquez, but another different looking lineup for Tony La Russa. Just get used to seeing that. That's Tony's MO. Three-two. Pujols was figuring, well, I better go after it.
Hold it, David.
Previous pitch was pretty darn good.
You just look at, you know, Albert, and you just kind of wonder if he isn't feeling some of those effects of the flu too.
Let's listen in here.
Hold it, David.
We can hear the dugout helping out David Ross. And what does Vasquez want to do here in the 4th on a 3-2 count and pitch upcoming to Pujols?
Oh, remember, he does not walk many. 3 strikeouts tonight. He's in 37 with only 7 walks. 3-2. He's all the off-speed pitch. We go with fastball. Fastball away. He's very good on the corners.
Pujols tipped it off the mask of Ross. He missed our visit with Mike Matheny. So Mike was suffering for a couple of years from post-concussion syndrome, and it was serious. And I asked him about the foul tips. Did that have anything to do with it? He said nothing. They've done extensive research as to why catchers in particular have those symptoms, and it's because of the collisions. And Mike is at the 4th run of helping Major League Baseball. Pujols, a high drive into left center. Didn't quite get enough. Schaefer there.
Went back with the fastball again and won the battle.
11-12, first pitch strikes, and that will always help. You see a lot of late action though on his pitches and a lot of sink.
I was just saying, you know, he's got several weapons. He's got, and the ability to throw any of his breaking pitches over for strikes.
Like that. Curveball in there for a strike to Duncan, who grounded out to second his first time up. Happy birthday to Bill Fry, turned 65 today, and watching our ball game tonight on Fox Sports Midwest. Also a happy birthday to a couple of twins, Shannon and Sean Kelly. And Mike Kelly, the voice of the Missouri Tigers, his daughters turned 18 today, headed to college next year. Congratulations to Shannon and Sean. Happy birthday. Mike, one of the best in the business.
And I can remember when the twins were born, I always said to Mike Kelly, are they in college yet? Now I can honestly say that, right?
That's right. Two very bright young kids, and
took after their mother.
Yeah. Great grades, good ACT scores, and headed to college next year. Mike had a fun year. You had Missouri football. They were outstanding, and then the basketball program making quite a run. One of our favorites, Mike Kelly. Here's a 2-2 pitch in the dirt, and a full count on Duncan. Cardinals saw Mike Gonzalez at the end of that game last night, and he was nasty in picking up his third save. He struck out Rasmus, Pujols, and Ludwig. He was getting clocked at 95, 96. And it looked like the guy that we saw with the Pirates a couple years ago.
Yeah, he's back from his Tommy John surgery.
3-2. Check swing, and he did not go. So that's the first walk issued by Vasquez, and the tying run comes to the plate. Cardinal fans, Ice Mountain Autograph Nights are back for the 2009 season. Join us on select nights throughout the summer to meet your favorite Cardinals players and alumni. For more details, visit stlcardinals.com. Rick Ankiel with a couple of home runs this year, 8 RBIs. He struck out swinging, first time up. Popped up. Ross, does he have a play? No. Cut 4 or 5 rows deep. I guess if you're Hal McRae, you're saying to Ricky Ankiel, trust your hands and stay back. You know you're going to see the changeup at some point.
I'm thinking that's what he's telling him, but it's not working. You know, and Rick's going to battle. You know, if he gets a mistake, he can do a lot of damage with it, but
0-1 pitch. That's the thing, though. If you're a hitter, you got to convince yourself. Trust your hands. Stay back.
A lot of times, you know, just even if you sit there and trust your hands enough to where you can foul off the fastball and try to take the off-speed pitch opposite. And when you swing for the fences,
2 outs.
you swing through it and pop it up.
And it brings in Molina. Roger McDowell is the pitching coach with the Atlanta Braves, and he has to be thrilled with this addition of Vasquez, as they had to go to their bullpen a ton last year. But they get Vasquez, who has averaged 216 innings a season for 9 years. They added Derek Lowe. They had 7 Brave starters start at least 13 games last year. Mad Rocker is gone, and now Roger McDowell is the pitching coach.
And damn, they only had 1 starter that threw as many as 180 innings.
And they had really high hopes for that rotation last year with Hudson, who now is out with surgery. You had Smoltz, who's with Boston, Glavine, and Mike Hampton, who hadn't thrown a regular season pitch since 2005. And Hampton now with Houston. They are hoping that Tom Glavine will be able to at some point this year contribute. He had his 3rd consecutive day of long tossing yesterday, and the 43-year-old will long toss tomorrow from about 100 feet. He'll do it again Friday, but has not reported any ill effects, and they'd like to see him back on the mound. Yadier Molina into deep right field. Francoeur is back with room, and he's got it. Midway through 4, and it's 3-1. ...2003, what a deal it was for the Cardinals as they traded away J.D. Drew and Eli Marrero. They picked up Ray King, Jason Marquis, and of course Adam Wainwright. Drew is with Boston. Eli is out of baseball. Ray King, the big lefty, out of baseball. Marquis now with Colorado in a trade that sent him from the Cubs to the Rockies. And Wainwright, of course, you see what he's done so far this year. Always interesting to follow up on those deals to see what guys have done.
And I remember talking with John Schuerholz, and they got the outfielder, J.D. Drew, that they wanted, but everybody seemed like they were happy. Cardinals very happy with their part of it. And Schuerholz said, yeah, well, if I don't sign J.D. Drew, our fans probably won't think it was that good of a deal. And he was only here 1 year.
Yeah, and you're thinking at the time, you're not sure about Wainwright. Remember, Wainwright didn't even make his first opening day roster as Brendan Ryan slides, gets up, and makes another dazzling play.
What if that was in the 8th inning last night?
Well, a lot of fans are saying back home.
Well, very similar play. This one actually probably hit a little harder. But he spins to it and comes up with it. See, he's got so much more range and came up with a nifty play right there. That's at least the 5th one in this series.
Boy, that's a good play. So Vasquez retired, but I was about to say that Wainwright didn't make his first opening day roster until 2006. And that deal was made in 2003. These GMs, there's some guts involved in making deals.
I mean, back then, you always tried to have a trade be for right now, and that's what Ray King and Marquis were. And in the future, that was Wainwright.
The thing was, Walt Jocketty at the time was so good at picking up players at the end of contracts with a previous team, and that team not thinking that they're going to be able to re-sign them. Edmonds, comes to mind. Scott Rowland comes to mind. You're not going to see those kind of deals as much anymore. It seems like the trend now in baseball is like what the Cardinals have done here with Wainwright, or even a guy like the catcher, Yadier Molina. Try to lock him up and keep him your property and buy out some of those free agency years. It's fouled back.
And then you try to make sure when you lock up a young player that they have the work ethic, that they aren't going to just sit on that contract and not try and become better. Cleveland Indians did that in the 70s. Were probably the first organization that really did it. And the one thing that they were able to do is the mistakes they made, they were able to pass those players on.
Good pitch there. Infante strikes out. First strikeout for Wainwright tonight. And speaking of trades this date in baseball history, this is going to frighten some Cardinal fans. Steve Carlton, lefty, had 27 wins back in 1972 and records his 3,000th career strikeout. Tim Wallach of the Expos, got him. 4 Cy Youngs for Steve Carlton, for Rick Wise.
Well, it was a little bit of a unusual situation. Both pitchers were in contract negotiations. Both of them hit a standstill. And in the case of Carlton, he wanted the ungodly sum of $70,000 a year, and the Cardinals only offered him $65,000. Mr. Bush finally got involved in it and told Bing Devine, get rid of him. I don't care what you get in return. And Wise was in the same kind of a stalemate with the Phillies, and so that's why they were traded. But it wasn't done for baseball reasons. But how many pennants would the Cardinals won if they had Carlton during those peak years?
Be hard pressed to find a worse trade that the Cardinals have ever made. 2-1 pitch. That's driven into right field. Colby Rasmus on the move, dives for it and makes the catch. Escobar 0 for 3, and it leaves Chipper Jones on deck. Joe Thurston leads it off in the 5th. How many different team names have the current Atlanta Braves franchise had in their history? You're getting a little bit of a clue right there if you've been following our screen. So how many different names? 6. This franchise began back in 1871. The Boston franchise at the time. 1957, the Braves won a World Series championship. Then they were in Milwaukee at that time. 1966, they moved here to Atlanta. And 1976, a guy named Ted Turner purchased the team.
Yeah, go back to 57.
Thurston with a base hit up the middle.
Had some very good players on there, but they had one missing ingredient. They needed a leader. They needed a world champion guy. They needed Red Chambers. They became the world champions after that with Red.
1974, probably the most historic moment in franchise history. Hank Aaron, number 715 off of Al Downing.
April 8th, I believe. We had just checked into the hotel in New York and got there in time to watch the home run being hit on a Monday night, I think.
And then you had the great run which began in 1991 for the Atlanta Braves after years of losing.
Was it 14 straight years?
14 playoff appearances in 15 years. And the only year they didn't go was 94 because of the strike. Pitching, name of the game, and they had that. Brendan Ryan has had an outstanding series. I'd be curious to hear what Bobby Cox has thought of the way Brendan has played defense, the way he's played in this series.
Well, we've seen an awful lot of scouts, up here at the broadcast area watching this series, and I'm sure he's lightened up them. Vukovic and company down there, and I'm sure they've walked away with an extremely favorable impression.
This is pulled down the left field line and foul. Some teams now, advanced scouting is done with video. Cardinals are one of those teams. Almost every game now can be seen on television, and there's a couple of guys that work with Chad Blair, who was with us on the trip and all trips and all games, but they work back in that dungeon room at Busch Stadium, which is one of the best rooms in all of baseball and really all of sports for video.
But like you said, every pitch a guy throws is on videotape, and so the team prepares for that day's starter, and relievers. They look back and see what he's done in his last few outings.
Brendan chops one, foul. And he grabs his left hamstring running down the line.
No.
You can see how far he has gone down that first base line. Let's hope he's all right.
Yeah, limping slightly, and Larry Weinberg is now going to go out and check him. Hey, big shout out to a bunch of our friends. Great group of officers and retired officers from Transcom who are watching our broadcast, and led by Colonel Todd Robbins. I'm sure he's such a great hostess. I said hostess.
Let's hope that Brendan is going to be all right. He grabs it about 2/3 of the way down.
He's looking out there, and now watch him grab right back there high up on the hamstring.
Looks like his night may be through.
Yeah. And just that's sometimes the byproduct of not playing much.
Well, you do. If you're thinking about guys that could play short, Thurston could do it. Barden certainly could do it. And that's going to be it for Brendan Ryan. Well, how unfortunate is that with the way that he's played here the last 3 nights.
Yeah. There's Brian Barden, because remember, Khalil Green has a little forearm issue going. It's supposed to miss 2 or 3 days.
So Brian Barden will take over at short and take over at the plate following the base hit by Thurston. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mentioned the name of Ted Turner. It's a guy that you knew pretty well, didn't you?
I knew him a little bit, I don't know if anybody knows him pretty well.
Jane Fonda.
I'm not sure she knew him that well. But very interesting. Ted, I liked him. It's hard not to like him, but you know, it was interesting what might come out of his mouth.
Oh, would he come down to the clubhouse, or did you see him in the team hotel, or what?
No. Well, I remember the one time he told his manager, "I'm not firing you, but you take the weekend off," and he got in uniform and came down and managed the team. This was before I got here, and then the commissioner's office found out about it and said, "No, that doesn't that doesn't cut it." But he was in the clubhouse every night, and the guy would never go through the chain of command. If he ever wanted, he'd go right to Ted, and Ted always felt like he could always solve an issue with money.
2-2. As Barton lifts it into center. Schaefer, late break, and this drops. Nice read by Thurston. He's on his way to third base. He read that all the way. He never hesitated. You could see that Schaefer, little hesitant off the end of the bat. And once he saw that, he was off to the races.
Well, remember we were talking the first two series how deep he plays. And, you know, if you say off the end of the bat, you know it's not going to travel very far. Thurston saw that, as you said, read it all the way, gets over to third. Barton inherits that 2-2 count. Well, he got a base hit out of it.
And now it's runners at the corners for Wainwright. And Tony La Russa can be very creative here. Hold at first. Third baseman Jones is in a couple of steps at third. In at short second.
And just because he swung the first time, we don't know if this is going to be every pitch. He might switch off. Now Kendall will come out and talk to him verbally.
Big gap in the left center field. Outfield is shallow. First time up, he struck out. Vasquez has struck out 3 tonight. The 0-1. Lined in the left center field, base hit. Adam Wainwright cuts the lead to 3-2. That's 3 consecutive singles, and it brings in Schumacher.
Adam picks up the first of many RBIs this year. Just a little floater out there. He reaches out off balance, but got enough of it to dunk it over the infield.
Brings in Schumacher, the 29-year-old second baseman.
We were talking about how Danny Herron was getting no run support. I noticed the other day he had to get a big base hit to give himself a lead.
And as you talked about earlier, Schumacher now 10-game hitting streak. He's hit the Braves very well in his career. Came into this ball game tonight a .324 career hitter. His last time up, broken bat with 2 outs, single up the middle to drive in at the time Brendan Ryan, who was in the game. We're talking about Red Shandies. He's the last to do it for the Cardinals, moving from the outfield to second base, and that was back in the 1945 year.
And Red had always been a minor league shortstop, so he did move from the outfield, but he had a league's experience in the infield, where Schumacher had never played an inning in the infield during his professional career.
Seen Schumacher play more against lefties this year. Last year at .340 against right-handed pitching. And late with that swing, he strikes out. First out here in the Cardinals half of the 5th. And that's 4 strikeouts for Vasquez, and it brings in Colby Rasmus.
Colby's hit the ball well twice. Nothing to show for it. And 2 long fly ball outs, but both of them were hit well.
Pat had a piece on Colby Rasmus talking about last year having a very good spring training, not making the club, being sent to AAA, and the frustration of that as Rasmus rips one foul. He is lined out to right. He's also hit one to deep center. He's looked good at the plate.
He's not the first rookie to think he made a ball club and then go down to the minor leagues and pout a little bit and have a bad year. But with the help of his father, he really had a off season where he said, you aren't going to play, winter ball. You're going to just work on getting more body strength, get in the best shape you can, and make the club this time. And he did.
Here comes an 0-1 pitch to the 22-year-old. Got a piece, and that got a piece of Ross. Pujols debuted when he was 21, and he was the youngest until we've seen now Kobe Rasmus at 22.
And and he had a much better spring 2 years ago than he did this spring, but there was an opportunity.
Runners at first and second. Cardinals with 3 consecutive hits, then the strikeout by Schumacher. Rasmus in the hole 0-2. Fought it off. Tried to bust him in on that pitch.
David Freese and Joe Mather both have gotten off to extremely slow starts at AAA.
Hitting about 100 apiece. And Mather lost about 5 or 10 pounds. He got sick during spring training, and then he couldn't hit. And Rasmus strikes out. 5 tonight for Javier Vasquez. And it's up to Pujols with runners at first and second. Albert has flied to right and also flied to deep center.
Talk about the theme for both clubs, the 2 out RBI hits. Albert with a chance here. No RBIs in this series yet, and only 1 hit.
It's interesting how some pitchers, even though it's first and second, they still look at third base and say, all right, we do have a base open. I don't want to deal with Pujols, and I'd rather deal with Chris Duncan on deck.
If you don't think that way, something's wrong with you. And I'll be the first one to tell you that I'd like to see pitchers challenge even great hitters, but you still always have to remember you have that option, so you don't have to groove them.
Numbers a bit surprising. 0 for 6 in this spot. Here's an 0-1 pitch to Albert Pujols. Pujols up the middle, base hit. And this game is tied. Albert Pujols delivers with 2 outs, and it's a brand new game. It's 3-3.
Can't hold him down too long, can you?
Nope.
26 to lead the National League. Along with his 7 home runs, that's tied for the league lead. And just base hit up the middle, didn't try to do too much. Got over the mound and into the outfield, and Barden scores the tying run.
Again, third base open if you want to run that risk and deal with a left-handed bat in Duncan. And as you've talked about, the lefties have struggled against Vasquez. Duncan fights it off into center. That's a base hit. Wainwright being waved in. And the Cardinals have their first lead. It's 4-3. That's now 5 singles in this 5th inning against the right-hander, the Braves.
And there are some ugly hits in there, but they're effective. Roger McDowell out to talk to Vasquez, and he has 7 hits, 6 singles, and more than half of them have been this variety, just flip them out over the infield and fall in front of the outfielders.
A concern for the Braves and their coaching staff is the threat of the big inning in dealing with Vasquez. That's been one of the knocks on him.
Right. They've always said that, all of a sudden he'll be sailing along and then something to go haywire in an inning. And I'm sure that's part of why McDowell went out there.
Ricky Ankiel, the 8th man to come to the plate for the Cardinals this inning. He chops one foul.
And Dan, as a pitcher, sometimes you'd rather have a guy hit it off the wall than just these little flares and quails.
A lot of off-speed pitches to Ricky Ankiel.
And that's what he'll continue to see until he can show people that he can hit it.
0-1 pitch. There's another one. 0-2.
Seen a lot of guys struggle early in their career with off-speed pitches, that they see so many of them eventually become very good off-speed hitters.
And he rips it into right field. A fastball. Here comes Pujols. The throw is cut off. And now they've got Duncan in a rundown. The run will score. He's still on the rundown and then tagged out. If they let it go through, they may have had him at the plate. Instead, Ankiel delivers. And the Cardinals have themselves a 2-run lead. Was there any doubt that he was going? Cardinals baseball is brought to you by McDonald's. Order a Big Mac extra value meal at McDonald's during Cardinals Ticket Fest and get huge discounts on great seats. By Jeep Employee Pricing Plus, ends April 30th. Hurry to your Chrysler and Jeep dealer. And by AT&T, switch to the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Well, it's a brand new game now. The Cardinals pick up 4 runs. They lead it 5-3. Here's Chipper Jones. And let's see now if Wainwright, with a new life, can settle in.
His teammates have given him that, and he was part of it too with an RBI single. But really responsibility now to shut down the Braves.
Cardinals with 6 base hits as Jones pops it up. Brian Barden has taken over at short, and we assume it's a hamstring injury there with Brendan Ryan.
Left hamstring tightness. So, you really can't have a full evaluation for at least 24 hours, but let's hope there's no tear or anything that way.
One of the guys that had a decent spring that opened up some eyes was Tyler Green.
Yeah, Tyler Green, former #1 draft pick, very slow in coming, but really showed some offensive aspects. He's from Georgia Tech, and he, they always knew defensively he was of quality, but his bat was slow in coming, but it started showing signs this spring. I think I saw someplace where he was hitting about 280.
It's tap foul by Casey Kochman. That final play, by the way, a base hit RBI for Ankiel. That's his 9th of the year, and it goes 9-3-5-6-5 on the putout. And Pujols scores another run. You agree with me? If they let that go, I think he might have been out at the plate.
Well, I think you're right with that. But
I don't disagree sending him. I mean, you make him make the play.
Oh yeah, I mean, you've already got, all these consecutive hits, and it's hard to stop him anyway. He's obsessed with scoring. But I just can't understand why Vasquez 0-2
fastball.
Throw a fastball. That's fine if you want to throw a fastball, but up and away, out of the strike zone, get him to chase it, but not something that, that's the only pitch he's geared for. And he was, that's why he's looked so bad on the changeups and off-speed pitches, but he got the fastball and he ripped it.
Kochman with a walk and a double. A run scored here tonight. Cardinals with a 2-run lead. A 2-2 pitch with 1 out here in the 5th. Nobody on. And Wainwright again goes deep into the count. It's another full count. He has walked 4 tonight.
At 78 pitches. And don't let anybody walk. Fastball should be the pitch you can locate the best.
And a base hit past Barton into left. Let's take a look at some of the base running in this series. Yunel Escobar, a couple of mistakes. This is when he was picked off. The 28th time Molina has done that in his career. They threw behind him, and they got him. Ran out of an inning yesterday. Then tonight, this is Jeff Rancourt, aggressive, good play. And with that, because of a wild pitch, he would score. And this is Joe Thurston on that little bloop hit. He read it perfectly off the bat on his way to third, and he would come around to score. There's some of the base running, good and bad, in this series. Here's Francoeur.
It's not been a particularly good series for Escobar, fundamentally wise.
I remember Francoeur even at one point last year was straight. So much of his problem had been confidence and knowing that he could do it at this level at any point in the count.
Well, he even described himself as a hitter as always in panic mode. Was terrified to go deep in a count. A lot of times you don't want to strike out. You swing early, but he would never accept a walk and got himself out frequently.
Singled and scored on a wild pitch. That's down. I know you'll love this. One of the things that Jeff Francoeur will do, because he's such a recognizable player from this area and was considered one of the great high school athletes ever in this area, is that he'll go and speak to kids all the time, and he tells them, don't set your mind on just one sport. If you play multiple sports, continue to do that.
That's my advice all the way.
2-2.
The more sports you play, Wainwright was a great football player. What you're good at maybe in high school is going to be your secondary sport in college. Fastball away, it looks like. And play all the sports to get a college scholarship, not to play professionally. After you get your college education, if you're good enough to play professionally, by all means do so.
How about just play the sport to have some fun?
Well, that's true.
I mean, let's start with that.
How about the things that it teaches you too? You know, responsibility, the slider.
See if he can't get a ground ball here in that double play. Not a bad pitch, trying to get him to chase.
Yeah, that much better pitch earlier. That ball was left up out over the plate. That not only stayed down, but it was also on the corner. Just didn't get him to chase. So that was a pitch that the last couple of years there was no way he could lay off it. Same pitch.
They don't start the runner, and it's past Barton into center.
That time trying to, on the 3-2 pitch, trying to throw a strike, he just kind of eased it up there and it went through.
For in-depth Cardinals and all-star game coverage all season long at Game Day Magazine, it's the official team magazine of the Cardinals. To order, call 314-345-9600 or visit stlcardinals.com/publications. Love to get a double play here. First and second, and one out, and a 5-3 Cardinals lead. Diaz has walked, and he's also grounded out to third. Again, Barton is at short with Green out and Brendan Ryan out. Lifted into center. Ankiel is back. Nearly slipped. And fires it back in. And they know his arm, and you could hear the crowd ready for that.
And like you said, going back and trying to get his momentum to come forward, he almost slipped and fell.
Skip Schumacher the other day was saying that Ricky Ankiel is the best athlete he's ever seen. You can make a case, I mean, with what he's done at this level. There wasn't much time in the minor leagues to become an everyday outfielder after pitching.
And remember, he missed a full year with a knee injury.
Here's Schaefer.
Come on, Schaefer.
I wonder how much deeper he can go into the game now with Wainwright. Pitch count is getting up there, and he's due up fourth for the Cardinals.
Well, he's at 88 pitches, and just get him out here and give him one more inning.
Schaefer, a good rip, 1 ball, 1 strike.
But Adam will tell you that 5 and fly isn't good enough. Got to go deeper into the game.
Jordan Schaefer, home run in his first at bat against Brett Myers and the Phillies in Sunday Night Baseball on opening night. First Braves rookie to make his major league debut. The opening day starting lineup since 1981. Two and one the count. Tied him up with a good pitch. In on his hands that time, Al.
That's a cutter. And Dave Duncan's been so effective in teaching to the right-handers to a left-handed batter.
Well, here you have a rookie at the plate trying to make a name for himself, and at times he'll be overly aggressive. Maybe the changeup here from Wainwright could get him out in front.
Now, when he's got that good curveball, you never worried about him throwing it.
And there it is right there. Just missed 3-2.
It's a little bit to the side instead of 12-6. And it's coming out a little bit sideways.
And he walked him with that changeup. And that's the 5th walk, and that matches his season high. Let's go pitch by pitch, brought to you by Chevrolet.
1-1 count and everything like this. There's a changeup that's up again. And there's that good cutter we talked about. And the good curveball but misses. And there's the changeup. But that's not good location. Leaving the ball up there because it's eye level and hitters can adjust even if they're out in front.
David Ross 0 for 1 with a walk tonight. He flied to deep center field.
About all the grand slams that have been hit in the month of April, almost nearing a record.
Yadier's brother hit one last night for the Yankees.
I think they were 5 away from the all-time record, and we started the season a week late. There hadn't been a home run in this series. The Braves are very good at that, and so are the Cardinals. They've been keeping the ball in the ballpark.
Here's an 0-1. Catches the corner 0-2. Now he's got him 0-2. He hasn't gotten this call all night.
A curveball and right out there. I mean, it's a good one right there. That's that 12-6. Head in the count 0-2. Got a lot of different weapons.
Just got a piece. Pujols charging in, and
Molina doesn't believe it's a foul tip. But
I wonder if he thought it hit the plate and then hit the bat.
It sounded like the bat. Well, you don't see Yadi argue that way. Take a look at it. It's a curveball. And it didn't hit the plate. It hit behind the plate. But it sounded like there was a tick.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree with you there. I mean, that's a big pitch. You're out of the bases loaded jam. Let's take a listen here.
That's contact. That's foul ball. I mean, that's how, you know, you're so into the game. You see it with your heart. He thinks Wainwright makes a good pitch, gets out of the inning. If it's not a foul tip, we'll do it again.
The 0-2 pitch with the bases loaded.
A great block right there, and another good curveball, but he lays off it.
Even before that pitch, Molina was asking for a low and got it high. You see the least home runs allowed. The Cardinals, the starters this season, just 3. Kansas City 6, Atlanta, Florida, the Dodgers 8. No home runs thus far in these 3 games.
tried to overthrow a slider. And throw the fastball, just really no command, can't get the ball down, and in that case he couldn't get it in. Tony always talks about, a guy laboring. This is an example of laboring through this inning. That's usually, make sure you keep it a 5-3 game and get out of the inning, but you may not, that may be all you can get from him.
3-2. Got him with the curveball, and Ross knew it. Nasty pitch. That takes some guts with the bases loaded as he breaks it off. What's on Tap is brought to you by Bud Light. We're in Washington tomorrow. Bud Light, the difference is drinkability. Tomorrow at 5:30 with the pregame show on Fox Sports Midwest. It's wonderful to be in our nation's capital. That was pitch number 100, the strikeout pitch for Wainwright. You would figure that he may be through.
Well, you look at him right there, and it kind of gives you an indication that he's probably going back out. And it's because you have all these games consecutive. We're in the midst of 20 straight games. For our next off day is on May 11th. Tony and Dave Duncan are very guarded with pitch counts and how they use these guys, but if you're carrying an extra pitcher, you'll have to wait and see.
Vasquez pitching into the 6th. There's a curveball that's lined to Chipper Jones. And Molina is 0 for 3. Brings in Joe Thurston with Barton to follow. Thurston singled, got things going for the Cardinals in that 5th inning. Cardinals about hit the Braves 8-6. One of your former teams has quite a pitcher going right now. That's Zach Greinke, 4-0, 0 ERA. And going back to last year for the Kansas City Royals, no earned runs in 43 innings for Zach Greinke.
Yeah, he's young man has had some issues. And
Thurston, a high fly ball into left field.
Got those resolved and really pitching great right now.
Well, Toronto, it shows on the board here, leads it 1-0 over Kansas City. There was a delay in that game. He has allowed a run. It just was unearned.
Right.
So we'll see what the case is tonight. Well, Brian Barton will step in, and he singled on a 2-2 pitch his first time up after the hamstring injury to Brendan Ryan. We don't know the extent of the injury, and hopefully he's going to be all right.
More than likely, you have to be conservative with it. It's going to be a couple days at the very least.
And as we started our telecast with, that Khalil Green is out for a couple of days.
At least that was the thought before the Ryan injury.
It's a little chopper to Chipper. 5 pitches in this inning. Vasquez due up first in the bottom of the 6th when we come back. Hilton St. Louis at the ballpark is the only hotel that gives you home field advantage and an extraordinary Cardinals baseball experience. For reservations and information, number to call is 314-421-1776 or visit HiltonSt.Louis.com. And a fastball to Vasquez. Maybe part of the equation, not only in trying to extend Wainwright into the 6th inning, but you're going to face Vasquez here. And like you said, Al, not many off days. You've got to try to squeeze at least one more inning out of him here.
And you don't know what you're going to get in the second start from Mitchell Boggs tomorrow, who is very good in the first one. But, it's just one of those cases where Wainwright's your ace, and he's got to give you more than just 5 innings.
1-1 pitch. Right center. Ricky Ankiel with 2 hands. Makes the catch.
How complicated for Adam was after a tough 5th inning. you know, his teammates only, you know, gave him 5 pitches of rest. And
I know you love watching pitch counts. That's one of your favorite things to do in a game. You're always charting pitch counts.
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, it's something that everybody is so protective and don't want to injure anybody, but they all get hurt anyway.
As you talk to people that have been in this game for decades, what's the #1 reason you hear as to why these players are getting hurt more now than they ever did?
Part of it is that you're rushing guys to the big leagues, trying to get the return on your money. So much more costly, but you know, my first year in pro ball, I threw back-to-back games, 163 pitches and 172 pitches. You know, a complete game, 17 strikeouts in each game. But I mean, you never heard of the pitch count. Nolan Ryan, you know, I mean, there were guys that were gone over 200 pitches in a game at the major league level.
You don't see a lot of long tossing going on either. That's something that has changed.
It's one thing we did. You know, there was no weight rooms, so you didn't do anything like that, but you did a ton of long tossing. They're making Escobar move back to the on-deck circle. He was sneaking in back behind the plate, and he was back behind the plate trying to get a better read of Wainwright's pitches.
0-2 to Infante. And did he get a piece? He did.
Good breaking ball there.
That's actually gotten a little bit better as we've gone along, it seems like.
It's worn down.
Yeah.
You can't, you know, you're not overthrowing it because you're tired a little bit and you find the release point on it, but you're not as strong, so you find that you can pull it down. There's a sinker.
Shallow center, base hit.
But see, I mean, you can't get that pitch. That's a sinker. Molina's saying a sinking fastball, 2-seam fastball. Give him the target down, and that's up around the letters.
Boggs and Cabrera tomorrow on the air at 5:30. Let's see if that'll get the bullpen up and loose. Molina was doing his best Tony Pena back there.
Down in almost the sprinter stance.
Braves have been starting the runner an awful lot here tonight. Chipper Jones on deck, and this is Escobar. Twice he's flied to right, also grounded out to short.
I'm not sure they would necessarily start the runner now because he doesn't have that control. And you might be doing a favor with Molina's shotgun on.
The only reason I say that you might with him is that he's grounded into 24 double plays.
Yeah, you told me you said that either the first or second game of the series, and it's shocking.
It is. Trevor Miller getting loose. A short lead at first. 1-1 pitch.
There it is.
Hit to short, on to second, and a double play. 6-4-3. We head to the 7th. Wainwright's spot is due up first. Top of the 7th rolls in at Turner Field. It's 5-3 Cardinals over Atlanta. The Home Depot doing more on defense. And we'll take a look at Brendan Ryan with this nice play.
Well, there's a nice play, spin and throw, and he's had a spectacular defensive series. And then he ends up running down the baseline, first baseline on a foul ball and pulls a hamstring.
So here's Wainwright, who is singled, and you have him hit for himself in this spot. You're already carrying an extra pitcher. Short bench with Khalil Green hurt. Ryan's already out of the game. You've had to use Barton, so you have Ludwig and LaRue left as far as position players.
He just gutted this one out through 6 innings. 3 runs, 2 of them are earned. With 5 walks, ties a season high, and a couple strikeouts. But like you said, you've got a short bench to begin with. Khalil Green has a bad forearm.
So you're left with a backup catcher in Ludwig.
Yeah. And really, you're left with Ludwig.
And that's a strike.
And LaRue's after, I mean, he's got 5 hits in his first 2 starts. But the only way you probably use him is, if you put him into first base or something like that, where something happened to Yachty, you still had him in the game.
And Wainwright, a swing and a miss. He strikes out. 6 strikeouts for Vasquez this season. The innings pitched and the pitches tonight. 6 innings pitched and 110 pitches for Adam Wainwright.
And pitch count, the very first game got way out of hand, because you always look at him as closer to 7 innings rather, but went 7 last time, went 6 the time before, and that was in Chicago where he really gutted it out. And you got to give him a lot of kudos tonight for not having very good stuff, but he's in line for the victory and at least got through 6.
Schumacher with a base hit, his second time up, slaps this one towards short. Escobar, bare hands, out at first. What a play by Escobar. Do or die with the bare hand, and he made it.
Slaps it over here, so he gets a high hop. So you get a running start for Schumacher, and then he slides head first. It always appears you get there. I'm not sure you get there quicker, but it kind of blink your eye if you're the umpire, and you kind of look like it. So she said a do or die, a very flashy play, but got all the tools, but sometimes the instincts are a little questionable.
Here is Colby Rasmus, and all of a sudden you look up, Vasquez could have another quick inning and no need to get your bullpen up. Part of the lineup coming up for the Atlanta Braves. They'll have Chipper Jones, Casey Kochman, and Jeff Francoeur. 3, 4, and 5.
69 miles an hour on that last breaking ball.
This will be the 9th pitch in this inning. Rasmus got the start in right field tonight. And Keel in center and Duncan in left. Even with this short bench, one of the things that you get a little concerned about that Tony La Russa would like to do is be able to shift Schumacher to the outfield. But Barton is in this game. You don't think that Green can play. You've got Ludwig and LaRue on the bench. There's a strikeout, 2nd in the inning, and 7th in the ball game for Javier Vasquez. Time to stretch. Chipper Jones coming up. Infinity game summary for the Cardinals as they have out-hit the Braves 8-7, and they lead it 5-3. It started though early on for the Atlanta Braves. They would pick up a run in the second, 2 more in the third. Outstanding play there by Francoeur as he advanced to third, then came around on a wild pitch. But the Cardinals put together a 5th inning in which they scored 4 runs on 6 hits. And Adam Wainwright, the biggest strikeout of the night with the bases loaded, Ross up in a 3-2 pitch. The Infinity game recap. And here's Dennis Reyes.
Well, Reyes been the workhorse. Last year in Minnesota appeared in a career-high 75 games. This year, this is already his 12th ball game to lead the staff.
And this is our Chevrolet called to the bullpen. Chipper Jones, a line out to second.
Turn him around to right. He's 0 for 4.
So 110 pitches for Wainwright. Here's the numbers on Reyes. 12th appearance, ERA under 3. Has allowed 1 home run. Opponent's only hitting 143. Boy, that's a big out there, Chipper Jones.
Hey, suffered his loss, allowing that walk-off home run in Chicago. But he's pitched very well in this season.
I'm sure that's one of the things the Cardinals are talking about right now, John Mozeliak and his staff. I mean, he needs some protection up the middle. You've got Schumacher at second base right now, Barton at short. Already playing with that short bench. What do you do after tonight's game? If indeed it's
and I did see Khalil Green in infield practice and throwing. So, I mean, it's just something where he's getting treatment. They're trying to, because Brendan was playing so well, try to give him a couple days rest. But now with the hamstring to Brendan Ryan, it complicates the situation.
1-2 the count. And with the immediate future, meaning the 8th and 9th inning, normally you'd see Schumacher shift to the outfield. And there's a swing and a miss. Kochman down on strikes. First time he's been retired tonight.
That's what you like to see, a left-handed specialist come in and turn around a switch hitter, get him out, and then face a lefty and strike him out. Reyes' work is done.
Well, that's one of the things that we talked about last night with Kochman up. Why not go with the lefty? But Tony La Russa did not do that because of this hitter from the right side, Martin Prado. Chris Perez will come in from the bullpen for the Cardinals. He has a key strikeout in this game, rather in this series, back in the first game. This is our Chevrolet call to the bullpen, Chris Perez for the St. Louis Cardinals. And he'll face Frank Core when we return. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Perez to face Frank Core. Fights it off, but foul. Chris Perez in the offseason dropped about 25 pounds. You can really see that. He's dropped a lot of weight.
Got married, and he says his wife's a very good cook.
Yep.
So don't read into anything, but she's such a good cook, he eats good meals
That's
now.
healthy meals.
Instead of the bachelor fast food circuit.
0-1 pitch. And that's a strike, going 2 at 95 miles an hour.
Chris, fan lone batter on Monday for his second hold. He was recalled on the 15th.
That was a key spot in that game in the 7th inning in game 1 with the tying run at second base. He struck out David Ross.
Slider. Good one right there. Lena wanted it down.
You know, Frank Core has not, to his credit, not been chasing that pitch.
No, I mean, we've seen he worked hard at pitch recognition and not expand his zone, and it's paid off in this series.
That time he does. Perez gets the strikeout and sends us to the 8th. Albert is coming up. He's due up first when we come back. Vasquez has thrown 89 pitches on the night. Still in this game as we start play in the 8th. Albert Pujols due up first. Pujols, Duncan, and Ankiel. Vasquez, partner, is not disappointed one bit. He's been very good.
Well, you know, but it's true to form where he has that one bad inning.
Yep.
But you know, we say he goes deep into ball games. He's already pitched 7 in 89 pitches. He has 7 strikeouts. We talk about him being a strikeout pitcher.
Only 1 walk.
Only 1 walk, which is, you know, always getting ahead in the count.
Pujols tonight with an RBI single, a run scored, 24 of 30. First pitch strikes for Vasquez. Little chopper up the middle and a base hit for Pujols. Hustling out of the box and a wide turn at first. So leadoff hit. And it brings in Duncan. Outfield is deep for Duncan. He's walked tonight, has an RBI single. Short lead at first by Pujols. And that's taken for a ball. Cardinals with 9 hits tonight. A reminder, we'll be in Washington tomorrow, the first of 4 against the Nationals, and we'll have 3 of those telecast on Fox Sports Midwest.
The 9 hits, 8 of them have been singles.
Popped up, and a play for Chipper Jones. I want to remind folks, and we'll keep telling them about this, but you have a fun day coming up for a nice charity.
Yeah, this May the 9th out at T.R. Hughes Stadium. We're going to have the Blues alumni play the Cardinals alumni in a softball game out there. More information, www.rivercityrascals.com, or you can call Troy at 636-537-0657. All proceeds benefit the Charliana Foundation. That'd be a lot of
Losing
fun.
the Cardinals.
Yeah, I got Jack Clark, Whitey Herzog, Mike Matheny, John Mabry, Todd Worrell, Kerry Robinson, Scott Cooper, George Altman, Neil Fiala, Ron Hunt, Simon Tachi, Costello, Brummer, Rich Hacker. Those are all Cardinal players.
There's the changeup and a swing and a miss by Ricky Ankiel.
Kelly Chase, Terry Yates, Scott Mellenby, Jim Campbell, Jamie Rivers, Rick Zombo, Mike Zook, Larry Patey, Neil Komodowski, and Reed Lowe, and a few more will be coming. May the 9th out at the River City Rascals.
Red Sox announced today they pushed back John Smoltz at least another week, trying to regain strength in that arm, rebuild his arm strength. He was going to throw a live BP, their complex in Fort Myers, but they'll be pushed back a week or two. Gave him $5 million for Boston. There's a swing and a miss. One ball and 2 strikes.
Your second baseman signaling who's covering that. Neither one of them look like they're too interested.
Looks Infante, and he's signaling to Escobar. And Keel strikes out. Strikes out for the second time, and that's number 8 on the night. Here's Molina with 2 outs.
He's got that 12-game hitting streak on the line.
There is activity in the Cardinals bullpen, and that's Jason Mott. You would think you could start with Perez if you want him to start that 8th inning. If he runs into trouble, you go to Mott, or maybe just start the inning with Jason Mott. Started clean. And I guess if you're Tony La Russa, you're thinking young pitcher, let him start clean if you're going to bring him in.
Well, yeah, and you know you're going to have to start using these guys, to keep them sharp. You're carrying that extra pitcher, and Perez can feel very good about his outing again.
Curveball, he waited on it and flies out to right. Francoeur was playing shallow. Diaz, Schaefer, and Ross due up for the Braves. Brian Ludwig is in the ball game. He'll take over in right field, and the outfield will have Ludwig in right and Keel in center, and they'll shift Rasmus from right to left, and Duncan is out of the ball game. New pitcher in is Jason Mott for St. Louis to pitch this 8th inning.
And Jason picked up his first career win on the 21st versus New York as a team high 5 holds. And a good spring training where he led the Grapefruit League in saves, led all minor league baseball with 63 appearances and a 14.9 strikeout per 9 innings ratio last year at Memphis.
I think the idea here is that if you would have started with Perez and he gets in trouble, you don't want a young guy like Mott to come in with runners on.
And that's part of it, but it's also part of pitching. But a lot of the guys out of the bullpen now that are maximum effort guys, they are easy to run against. So a lot of times they don't want them to come in and inherit base runners.
First pitch, a strike to Diaz.
And ever since you take away opening day and then his next appearance, Mott's been very good.
It's hard hit, but Thurston stays with it at third. Nice play. And Tony La Russa was talking about that the day of the Chicago series, the first game, and he said, the first couple of times he was out there, it was just location mistakes. We're not upset with him. It's just he'll settle down. He's a young guy, and he'll locate pitches, and he'll be fine.
And they'll start using him earlier in the game, and he's done the job for him. Here is Schaefer.
So a third of an inning for Chris Perez, and he gets another strikeout. Faced 2 batters in this series and 2 strikeouts.
2 strikeouts, 2 holds. So I mean, he could build off that. Mott comes out here and pitches a, you know, when McClellan is off limits for the 8th inning. You know, Mott come in here, or Perez, some combination. Eventually we'll see Blaine Boyer. Those guys pitch the 8th inning and get the ball to Franklin in the 9th, and these guys keep on having success when Franklin's not available. You know, whether it's McClellan or one of these 2 right-handers, you know, they'll get the save opportunity.
2-0. Schaefer with a couple of walks, a stolen base tonight. And he also grounded back to Wainwright. 3-0. You don't want to walk him here and bring that tying run to the plate.
You just soon, you know, you got hit your way on.
And he walked him 4 straight. So good speed at first base now in Schaefer. But you have a double play candidate in Ross. Molina out to visit, calm down Mott, along with Pujols. Cardinals turned a big double play back in the 6-4-3 off the bat of Escobar.
That's one good thing I say about Schaefer. He already has 13 walks, 3 in this game. The bad is he's got 23 strikeouts.
And if you don't turn a double play, you face the next 2 hitters. That means you'll face Chipper Jones one more time before this game is through.
And you got Norton, the switch hit and pinch hit expert, is on deck.
It's 5 straight balls by Mott. Since opening day, 1-0 and a 1.13 ERA. The thing is, you're going to have games like he had on opening day. It just the magnitude of the game being opening day, sellout crowd, so many eyes watching.
And you're a rookie. It was only like his 13th major league appearance. Balls are down. Balls are down, but they're not being called.
And finally gets the strike after 6 straight balls. Two and 1 is the count.
I think he'll kind of shading right field a little bit, but you know, when you got a big gap out in left center, you're going to be looking fastball, and you know he throws hard, so you're going to be swinging early, and I wouldn't think he's going to be behind him.
Or maybe the indication is we don't think he can catch up.
Well, I mean, that's the way you look at it, but a lot of times when you start early, you're going to get out there in front.
Sure. 2-2. There is a big gap out there in left center. Remember, Rasmus is shifted from right to left. 2-2 pitch to Ross. Slowly hit. Mott's only play is to throw a 90-mile-an-hour fastball to Pujols.
You saw the catching technique. The former catcher turned pitcher. You know, it got that ball
right by his ear.
Yeah, right by the ear. That's how you teach a catcher. And it was a slider that he got the little tapper back there and standing flat-footed threw just like a catcher and right behind the ear. Here's a slider. He gets a little tapper. Now watch him field it. Stand flat-footed. Almost hold it like a catcher and then flip it right at Albert. Boom.
Al, I talked to Mott about that. I said, you know, when you're a catcher, you're throwing from your ear. I said, what's it been like as a pitcher? He said, they didn't really tell me to change anything. They just said, get on the mound and throw. And he said, I really haven't changed that much. He said, I've tried to extend a little bit, but not that much.
Well, and a lot of times, you know, a short armored is deceptive.
And that's the one point he brought up. That's a tough pitch right there on the inside corner. So here's Greg Norton, the switch hitter. I'm sure Bobby Cox at some point would like to use Kelly Johnson, but Johnson has been struggling so much. Only 4 for his last 39. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, he'll have to use him out of necessity at some point, but Kelly Johnson is their everyday and leadoff man, but Just really struggling after he got off to a good start.
That closes the book on Vasquez as he strikes out 8 tonight, but leaves trailing 5-3 in his 8 innings of work.
Saw those 13 pinch hit home runs by Norton over his career.
Hitting .067 so far. They're trying to pound him in.
He was 0 for 12. Then he got his first hit, a double, over the weekend.
By the way, Zach Greinke did allow that first earned run of 2009. It was Vernon Wells.
Sent him down.
RBI single in the first.
Sent him back to Omaha.
I think he's here to stay. He's pretty darn good. 2-1 pitch. Up and in. Infante is on deck. The top of the lineup for the Braves.
Well, part of the reason, and Molina, you know, like to, you got a good fastball hitter, and now Molina's called out Barry Weinberg. I think Mott's saying no, but Molina's concerned about something. Something about his leg or foot?
Yeah, I don't think it's his arm or shoulder or anything like that. Let's take a look at the last pitch and see if we can pick up something here. He turned his left ankle, looked like.
Just awkwardly the way he followed through. He was trying to tell Barry from the get-go that there's nothing wrong, but they'll make him throw one just to make sure.
And he says he's fine. So the count is 3-1.
But, you know, Norton is a good fastball hitter.
Just thinking the same thing. Be careful here.
And the problem is, and you see Infante on deck, and he is 3 for 4. But the problem is you know, you can't throw that slider to get off the fastball because you keep on pitching behind the count. There's a slider. Ooh. You see how the high strike zone. Nothing low, and I mean, you guess. You know, I mean, that's ball 4. Jerry Lane's a big man, and it appears that he won't go down and give the low pitches.
A 3-2. The walks is what got McClellan into trouble last night. When he walked, the bases loaded. Then Diaz had the base hit up the middle. Now Franklin has been getting loose in the bullpen. That's not just his first couple of warm-up tosses here. We talked about this at the beginning of the telecast. Do you extend your closer to get the final 4 outs? And that's going to be it for Mott. He comes in to walk 2. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Smooth Bush Beer and Easy Drinking Bush Light, and by Bank of America. Cardinals banking only at Bank of America. Finally, he throws a strike. Cardinals need to throw some strikes.
Right. Ryan Franklin is very good in that department. Also 6 for 6 in save opportunities, but he is 8 for 8. 8 for 8 in retiring the first batter, 9 for 9. Talked to Tony about this, you know, about using Franklin, and really kind of led me to believe that there's something they do not want to do. They want to really kind of make him exclusively 1 inning, but asking for 4 outs here tonight.
Runners at first and second. Infante with 3 base hits, and the first pitch is strike. But the thing about Franklin, he's not a huge overpowering man out there either. I mean, realize at times, you see what he's done against Franklin, that last couple of years maybe they overused him and his stuff hasn't been as good, and that's the risk that you run.
Well, they know when he has rest, he has been lights out.
Yep. 0-1 pitch. Liner caught by Schumacher.
Timed that jump perfectly.
Takes a hit away from Infante and an RBI as well, and keeps it a 2-run St. Louis lead. Good play here by Schumacher. Five to 3, the Cardinals with the lead. They've out hit Atlanta 9-7, and Rafael Soriano takes over. Hard throwing right-hander for the Braves, and this is our Hardy's prime cut of the game, and it's off the bat of Chris Duncan as he floated this one in the 5th into center. A lot of singles tonight, Al.
Well, 8 singles of the 9 hits, and Brendan Ryan was the only one with a double.
So Ryan Franklin, the Cardinals closer, gets the final out. And how big is that not to extend the inning, to get that final out and let him start fresh here in the 9th. Good play by Schumacher. Here's Thurston. He is singled tonight. Singled and scored. Got things started for the Cardinals back in the 5th. Rafael Soriano from the Dominican Republic, acquired by the Braves from Seattle in 2006 for Horatio Ramirez.
Had the elbow surgery, transposed that nerve a year ago, so he only pitched in like 8 games last year, and already this is his 9th game or 10th game this year.
This guy can bring it. He throws mid-90s.
Yeah, he's got a very good arm, but Bobby Cox has tried to really kind of juggle his bullpen. He's got 3 guys, Gonzalez, Soriano, and Moylan, that have all had elbow problems and coming back from that. So he's trying to use them not in back-to-back days. He had to do Moylan yesterday for the first time, back-to-back.
You gotta wonder right now, if you're Tony La Russa and you have a tight game going into the series with Washington, who's available and who do you have confidence in right now that you could bring out of the bullpen?
Well, that's his problem right now is, you don't have an off day till the 11th.
Thurston, a fly ball into shallow center. Schaefer there.
11th of May, and a lot of guys have been not overworked, but a lot of work early in the season, and you feel very good Franklin when he's out there, but you got to guard against overusing him. So the last thing you want to do is have a 4-out save for him tonight.
You have Escobar, Jones, and Kochman coming up for the Braves. Cardinals trying to win another series here. Mentioned that Milwaukee won this afternoon over Pittsburgh 1-0. And the Cubs were blown out by Arizona 10-0. Cincinnati leading Houston 3-0. That's in the 8th. Now Brian Barton is playing shortstop because Brendan Ryan left with an apparent hamstring pull or injury. We don't know the extent of that. So he's at short, and Schumacher is at second. Thurston at third. 1 out, nobody on. 1 ball, 1 strike. Barton came in on a 2-2 count, replacing Brendan Ryan, and reached for the base hit. He's also grounded out to third. The Cardinals can hold on. Adam Wainwright would pick up the win.
You never know this game. You can never take anything for granted, but I feel the Cardinals going to win this game, but then you worry what you're talking about. You worry about your late innings for tomorrow. But you'll have McClellan with a day off. Reyes is the kind of guy that, you know, he can pitch every day, and it seems like Trevor Miller's found himself in disfavor.
Got to find out what you have in Blaine Boyer at some point.
Yeah, because every time you talk to Dave Duncan, he really likes his arm.
Pardon a swing and a miss. The Braves got 8 innings out of their starter Vasquez, and Soriano has gotten the first 2 outs here in the 9th.
Ludwig will get his first plate appearance.
And Ludwig is now the right fielder in the 9th spot in the lineup.
Did get the juices flowing coming in for defense in the 8th inning, but that tough job of, you know, coming off the bench and facing a hard thrower.
That's the thing about Tony La Russa. You think he might get a night off, but as much as he mixes and matches and with a short bench and trying to help with his defense, late innings, not many full nights off for a lot of these players.
Yeah, and I don't think they, you know, I think Ludwig always knows that potentially he's going to come off the bench at the very least as a pinch hitter.
The 0-1 pitch. This is outside low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Ryan Ludwig this season hitting .310, 5 home runs, 19 driven in. Outfield is deep and straight away. That's on the outside corner. It's a tough pitch right there.
94 painted down and away, and then he's got that good slider.
Skip Schumacher on deck.
Soriano looks a lot bigger than 6'1", 220.
Sure does. 1-2. There's the fastball. Blew it right by him. Same pitch on the outside corner. Escobar, Jones, and Kochman coming up.
5-3, Cardinals lead going to the bottom of the 9th here in Atlanta. Coming up immediately after the game, of course, it's U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live. Jim and Rick back in the studio. They're going to break down Waino's night, try to explain how the Cardinals continue to win, and it says they're going to have some meaningless baseball mutations, a reference to the X-Men movie that's coming out. Guys, we'll have to wait and see what they're talking about. U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live coming up next.
Okay, can't wait for that. And here is Franklin, 5-3. St. Louis leading Atlanta. Post-game show. You never know what you might find, so stick around for that. Escobar, Jones, Kochman, 2-run lead. Franklin in, trying to get the final 3 outs now. First pitch, taken for a strike. Escobar is grounded out to short. Twice he's flied out to right. And he's also grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. Escobar 1 for 4 against Franklin. Charging, Barden has to be quick. He is. That's the big one, the first out. You bring up Chipper Jones with nobody on.
4 pitches, 2 outs. You know, we've got 2 more outs to go.
We mentioned at the beginning of the telecast, Vasquez, one of the knocks on him is that he'll pitch deep into a game. He'll get you strikeouts, but he'll have 1 bad inning. And that 1 bad inning was in the 5th. The Cardinals would play 4, and they would pick up 6 hits in that inning.
I think there was 1 hard hit ball.
That's past Albert Pujols.
Sort of a seeing eye hit on the right side, but extends this game. Brings up Kochman and the potential tying run. Cardinals will turn 1 double play tonight. How about ending it on a double play?
Jones reaches with that 1-out base hit. Kochman looking for his first home run of the season. He represents the tying run.
2 for 3 and a walk tonight.
Play behind the runner. Kochman out to left. Little slice to Rasmus. 1 out away. Jeff Francoeur will be the hitter. Budweiser, great player of the game. Budweiser, the great American lager. Ryan Franklin, 1 inning pitch so far, no hits, no runs. And 1 out away. From the save. Francoeur up there hacking.
Well, Franklin throwing strikes. He's thrown 7 pitches. All 7 have been in the strike zone. That'll help save him and make him available tomorrow.
Molina sets up inside the 0-1. You just don't see a lot of wasted pitches when he's right. I mean, he's not over the middle of the plate, in and out, up and down.
That's it. Changing speeds. And he's aggressive in the strike zone, getting ahead. Pitch in was to get him out of the way.
Popped up. Long way to go for Ludwig. And that will drop foul. So 1 strike away. 1-2 the count. The game that has just felt like the Cardinals have grinded it out. Probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah, I mean, you give a lot of credit to Wainwright. Didn't have very good stuff, but just gutted his way through 6 innings. His teammates got him the lead. He had an RBI base hit in that big 4-run 5th inning himself. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
In this situation, they've asked for the slider away.
Wants a sinker. Set up inside. Ooh. Up. Out over the plate. But he couldn't do anything with it.
And a lot of times with 2 strikes tonight, it's been that slider down and away to see if he'll chase.
I think that, Molina wanted it inside, another pitch inside to kind of just set it up. Here's the curveball, or a lot of times that's a splitter from Franklin.
He goes down to get it, and line foul. The thing about Francoeur too, Al, is that he's a bad ball hitter. And sometimes you think you're wasting a pitch, he'll go after it and knock it out of the ballpark.
Yeah, it's, sometimes pitchers get thinking ahead and say, well, I'll throw this pitch to set up the next pitch. And you never get to that next pitch because you make a mistake with a pitch you don't have 100% concentration on. Slider away. Here's the one you've wanted all night.
1-2 pitch. Reaches for it. Schumacher is there. Force play at second, and the Cardinals win it. 5-3 the final. They take 2 of 3 here in Atlanta. Nice win for the Cardinals as they pick up 4 runs in the 5th inning after a run in the 3rd. U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live coming up.
Cardinals win it 5-3. Jim Hayes alongside Ricky Horton. We're going to break this one down. Rick, your thoughts on a game that gives the Cardinals 2 out of 3 from the Braves.
Win a series on the road, that's always good. They go to +8 on the season. Wainwright was okay, got the job done well enough. The bullpen finishes it out with 3 zeros.
We'll have more from Rick Horton. Plus, coming up, the Cards ace on the hill against a team that drafted him. Did Waino continue his hot streak against his former team? Plus, we'll take you inside the Cardinal clubhouse at Turner Field for player reaction and Tony La Russa's post-game thoughts. And with the new X-Men movie coming out this weekend, we'll look at some of the least effective mutations for baseball players. Don't go anywhere. U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live is coming up next.
Welcome to U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live.
Ryan Franklin, another save tonight. How about 7 for 7 in save opportunities? The Cardinals beat the Braves 5-3. They take 2 of 3 in Atlanta. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside our Fox Sports Midwest studios in St. Louis for the post-game edition of U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live. Alongside former Cardinals reliever Rick Horton, I'm Jim Hayes, and coming up, we'll break down Adam Wainwright's 5th start of the year. Plus, we'll go inside the Cardinals clubhouse for player reaction and Tony La Russa's thoughts. And with X-Men Origins Wolverine coming to theaters this Friday, we'll look at some of the less worthwhile mutations a baseball player could have. Our
You
attempt
only
to be
get that
funny.
here. You only
Yeah.
get that here.
We're going to give it a shot. Whether or not it's funny remains to be seen. Rick, obviously, a win by the Cardinals is great. It wasn't a work of art.
No, it really wasn't. There wasn't really a lot of offense for the Cardinals today. We talked about Kyle Loesch being very good yesterday because he scattered the hits. Well, that's exactly the opposite of what Javier Vazquez did today as the Braves starter. He gave up 6 hits in 1 inning. That led to the 4 Cardinal runs, which is all they needed. They didn't have a lot of offense today, Jim, but they did bunch it.
And Cardinal fans, remember this. You can get involved with the program with U.S. Cellular Text Time. Rick and I will be taking your questions or comments about the Cardinals. Send us a text message at 432-432. Please include your first name, where you're texting from in your message. Standard text messaging rates do apply. Let's get things started by heading back to Atlanta. And Pat Paris, who caught up with Skip Schumacher, our Mid-America Chevrolet dealers player of the game. Pat?
All right, Jim, thank you very much. Here with Skip Schumacher. And Skip, you extend your hitting streak to 10 games, drive in a run there early in the ball game, and you guys got the bats going a little bit tonight.
Yeah, I didn't know I had a 10-game hitting streak, so thanks for that.
Congratulations.
No, it was a big win. I mean, win a series against Vazquez, who, I mean, he pitched real good for the first 5 innings or so, whatever it was, when we got to him, and, you know, we snuck out of there with a win, and it's a good win.
So you can take 2 out of 3, and it's always about winning series, isn't it?
Absolutely, and, you know, Adam had a huge pitch against David Ross, curveball, ballsy pitch, loved it, and, you know, that really got us going, I think, and, you know, we took it from there, and it was a good win.
You had a nice, probably RBI saving catch there in the late innings as well. Defense is always going to be talked about, I guess, but with Brendan Ryan going down, I mean, what does that take mentally as a toll on you guys when you see him leave the game with a hamstring issue?
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, I'm not used to being out there in the 9th inning at second base. So, you know, Brendan Ryan, in my opinion, is our best defensive player, and for him to go down, hopefully it's not too serious. You know, that's a big injury. So hopefully it's just a minor thing, and, you know, we can get through it.
Congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's Skip Schumacher. Don't tell him, but he's got a 10-game hitting streak going. Back to you, Jim, in St. Louis.
Pat, losing Brendan Ryan, taking a toll on the Cardinals shows just how well Brendan Ryan has played so far this year. We head back to Turner Field now to put a wrap on tonight's action. It's a view from the booth with the guys who just called the game, Danny Mack and Al Roboski. Guys?
Okay, Jim, thanks. When you talk about this win, we mentioned it at the end of the telecast. The fact was the Cardinals really grinded through this game, whether it be with the bats, but certainly for Adam Wainwright, he grinds out enough to get a win. And one of the things that stands out, how about his final strikeout? You go back to 2 starts ago, 6th inning against the Cubs. Big curveball to get out of a jam. Same thing tonight with the bases loaded.
Yeah, he had a lot of inconsistency with the breaking ball, but he's got the bases loaded here, and he throws that big bender and freezes Ross. He just only thing could look and go back to the dugout, but that was the 110th pitch. Adam really gutted his way. He just didn't have very good stuff, but he picks up his victory in his 3rd of the year with no defeats.
And how about Ryan Franklin, another save?
4 outs tonight as he picks up his 7th save, and he's just been perfect, 7 for 7, and he only did it with 12 pitches, so he was very economical.
Well, you'd figured he'd be able to come back probably tomorrow night with Washington, and we'll see you then. We'll have actually a little bit of a preview for that game tomorrow night. We've got 3 of the 4 against Washington beginning tomorrow at 5:30. Yes.
It won't be a mutant preview,
No,
though.
it will not. We're not going to go into that.
No.
Jim, I hope it's funny, and good luck.
I'm sure.
If it's not funny, I'm going to blame Rick Horton. How about that, gentlemen? All right, guys, we'll talk to you in a bit.